One of the scariest movies there is has to be Rosemary's Baby. This is an absolute classic from director Roman Polanski. Uh, Product of a time where a movie like this with subject matter such as this, really something a little bit different than kind of what was served as a horror movie, maybe even like 5 or 10 years previously. Something different. And the thing about movies like this, within that kind of time period, like definitely late 60s, or 70s as well, like stuff like The Exorcist and The Omen, they treat the material in a very earnest kind of way, not in like a way like today where they're really really trying hard to be as scary as possible. This movie, it's more inviting than assaulting, you know. Definitely kind of a more modestly paced movie, but it pays off in spades. And the terror that it ultimately realizes is almost unmatched from a movie like this. I mean, it's really something that took a lot of care and a morbid sense of fascination in the subject matter to begin with, to make it as good as it was. I mean, basically, kind of the key component or the key moment to this movie is Rosemary. She's pregnant. She's in the hospital, not the hospital, but the doctor's waiting room. She sees that Time magazine cover, the famous cover, a real cover story, um, asking, "Is God dead?" So kind of like a movement at the time, like organized religion, maybe not what it used to be. People moving away from God, moving away from the church. Even Rosemary herself, when she's asked in one of the scenes, like, what religion are you? She says, well, I was raised Catholic, but now I don't know. I think that's a claim that a lot of people can make. And kind of what I don't follow witchcraft or Satanism closely, but I think kind of someone who's been maybe removed from the practice of religion makes them all the more susceptible to the ritual that they've performed on her, giving birth to Satan's baby, inseminating with the demonic seed, the Antichrist. Um, these sick people moving towards the age of Satan. Hail Satan! Oh God! Just terrifying. I mean, this movie could have been called The Satanist Next Door. Um, Nice old lady, nice old guy living next door. What? Just so terrifying to think of, and the insidious nature of their plans, and uh, kind of the way it works the paranoia to the story. Like the movie starts out like it's a regular movie, like it's a nice movie, like Mia Farrow starring with John Cassavetes, happy married couple in New York, whatever. And then the ultimate terror is realized, and uh, just how clever the movie is in putting these little hints. Like, what did they do? Are they putting something in that dessert? Are they? What are they feeding her? What's with that necklace that they give her? What kind of weird ritual components are they? It's just so creepy, and you do kind of think uh, maybe she's crazy, but no, I mean she's definitely not. Not in a movie like this where the Satanism is a reality. Um, but that's what makes it all the more terrifying of a situation to be in it. Like for one thing, she's pregnant. She's in such a vulnerable condition as it is, um, and to question your mental well being, even if it's not in question, even if you know for sure these people around me are witches and they're doing something to my baby. I don't know what. They're gonna sacrifice my baby. I don't know what's going on. No one's gonna believe that story. So that's a very terrifying situation to be in. And Mia Farrow, what a great performance in this movie. Um, Really, really, just like very. She does have the vulnerability to her, but she has that determination, that will to to be protective of her baby, and what that ultimately leads to her is uh, at the very end when she realizes what's going on, kind of her acquiescence to the situation where hey, it's my baby. I guess I'll treat it as my own, even though it's the devil's baby. So very morbid movie, but the fact that they take the subject matter so seriously and not in a flashy way, not in an exploitive way, um, makes it as convincing as it is, makes it as engaging as it is, and is utterly terrifying as it is. I mean, I guess there are people who really do practice Satanism, I guess, but um, to see it in such a way as presented here is just so spooky, and that they seem like regular people, but they're really harboring Satan's kid. It's a very creepy movie, and just the way Roman Polanski has done this movie in such a very stylish way, but not over stylized. But he creates very tense atmosphere, and some of the very great scenes, like the dream sequences, are just superb in this movie. Especially for the conception scene, where like it does seem like kind of like a trippy dream sequence, but not overly flashy. Again, it just seems like kind of like this half awake, half asleep kind of surreality, which I thought was very well done. And everything about this movie is just so well done, and Polanski's attention to detail. Um, I think this is his best movie, next to Chinatown, of course. Chinatown, that's like the best. I mean, you can't really beat that. One of the greatest movies of all time. This is close. Definitely a great movie in its own right. One of the best horror movies, one of the scariest movies in my opinion. So it definitely has its claim to that. And just Polanski is a great filmmaker. And you know, I can understand if maybe somebody doesn't want to watch his movies because of his personal life. If you read up on his personal life, this guy's had a fucked up life, really. But it's always kind of the dilemma as a viewer to separate the art from the artist. Like, I mean, like, I like Charlie Chaplin's movies, and he's had some shady areas of his own personal history, such as Polanski, but you know, the work stands for itself. I mean, if you were to show this movie to somebody, not tell them that it's Roman Polanski's movies, I'm sure they'll enjoy it. Maybe it's not for everybody. Again, maybe not everybody wants a movie like this. It's a very slower kind of movie, and I understand. Again, maybe it's from my own point of view, because I feel kind of on the side of Rosemary, the character herself. Kind of agnostic. I was raised Catholic. Now I don't know. So that stuff kind of gets to me. It scares me in my soul, which is the most vulnerable area of attack that a movie can reach you. So many movies try to externally scare the senses by like jumping up or showing you a scary monster. This is a smarter movie than that. There are hints of like a monstrous demonic figure in the movie. But it only hints very subtly at that. And it's a subtle movie, but in its subtlety, I think the scares kind of emerge on their own, and what you can kind of gather from the content that you're watching. And basically, I mean, you get out of a movie what you put into it. And if you invest in this movie and invest in Rosemary and her terrifying struggle, and you empathize with her, I mean, this movie really pays off. So, quite an extraordinary movie, one of the all-time greats for good reason. Definitely essential Halloween movie. If you haven't given this a chance, you got to take a look at this movie. One of the greats. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Not a movie you want to watch late at night. Maybe sleep with the lights on afterwards. It creeps me out. So yeah, thanks for watching.